Yeah, is history about to repeat itself? Remember in 2010 in South Africa, where Spain won their first ever World Cup. Remember, they lost their opening game to Switzerland, and now Argentina seems to be following that pattern. They lost their first game, the opening game, to Saudi Arabia, and now they are in the final. Their second final in 3 World Cups. That's amazing. On that note, I welcome you to yesterday at the World Cup on Nigeria Superfans Forum. My name is Olufemi Ashaolu. Kyle Dugundari and James are here. They join via video. Guys, welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you, Femi. It's a pleasure as always.
Yeah, thanks, Femi. Always a pleasure being on.
Yeah, let's get started. I think this World Cup has been full of surprises. Nobody saw what happened yesterday. Nobody saw it coming at all. Argentina 3-0 over Croatia in the semifinal of a World Cup. A lot of people anticipated a close encounter, but it seems Argentina, like Kyle usually say, I think they've experienced tournament bounce. I also said that Croatia seems to have experienced that too, because they also seems to get better as the tournament progresses. But now they are out. Of course, they'll be playing the top place group. But Kyle, let's talk about Argentina. I'm sure after that defeat to Saudi Arabia, nobody ever thought they would go as far as reaching the final.
Probably I'm just one of those bodies, not that felt they were better than what they did against Saudi Arabia, and that was why I did not lose my head when everybody was praising the Saudi coach. Like I said, Javier Renard, good coach, but because everybody just started praising him because he was able to engineer that defeat of Argentina. Since then, Argentina have gone through a phase that they've gradually pull themselves up by the strap of their boots, that you can hardly recognize the team that lost to Saudi Arabia in the first game in the team that beat Croatia yesterday. After me, like I threw a question on social media. What has changed? The same players over the period of 2 weeks, or 3 weeks rather. The same players, they've gone from being like a Sunday team now to becoming potential World Cup winners. What has changed is the mentality of the players. Now, everybody, before they used to have this thinking that as long as we have Messi there, Messi is going to do it. Messi will pull through for us. The weight of expectation was killing the young man. Oh, Messi is no longer a young man. He's advanced in age now. The weight of expectation was killing Messi until the players had a mental switch. Everybody now started pulling their weight. You see players popping up, doing great things now. You see all over the pitch, you see the players not leaving everything for Messi, because before it used to be all balls to Messi. Now we are seeing a shift. And for me, that is just what has made the difference for them now. Now they are on the scope. They are just one win away from another World Cup. They are third in their history. For me, this is the hallmark of a good team, that you go from this extreme to this extreme. Everybody just realized that Messi will not be there for us always. You know one thing, Femi, the team that got to the final in 2014 was way, way better than this team. But what that team lacked was the push, the motivation to go out and win. Everybody was expecting Messi to do things for them. To do the magic. I saw a quote by Philip Lahm, the former German international, who said in 2014, the difference between that 2014 team and this team is that in 2014, everybody seemed to think Messi would do magic every time he has the ball, and they left him to his devices. Now there's a subtle change. There are younger players in the team now, Femi, and they are pulling their weight. That's the difference. And that's why I think anybody who thinks this Argentine team is not good enough to win the title should think again. Messi is enjoying probably his best spell at international level now. He wants to go out on the high. He wants to win the World Cup so that finally, the doubting Thomases will give him some break. They will agree that he is one of the greats. Whether he's the greatest, I cannot say. Selecting the greatest in a team sport is always very, very difficult for me. That's why I'm not joining the debate about who is the greatest player of all time. So you will not see me, you will not see me get involved in that, because it's always very difficult to pick in a team sport like football. You now say this person is the greatest. It is always a subjective view.
Okay.
It's always a subjective view. So that's why I will not get involved in that.
Okay. James, if you look at this Argentine team, a lot of people have argued that the team is not playing spectacularly football like that. If you look at the 2010 team, Spain that won in South Africa, you could see the flair in that team, the tiki-taka. If the last edition 2018 Russia, we saw France, and we saw that everybody said, yeah, they deserve to win the tournament. And some people have been arguing that the Argentina have not been that spectacular, but they've been grinding out results. Do you agree with that?
Well, I don't think they need to be spectacular, especially what happened against Saudi Arabia. I mean, they took that personal, so they don't have time to start, playing football that will please the eyes. The most important thing is to just get over that result, and the effectiveness of their players taking them straight to the World Cup. I mean, since then they've not lost any game. They've been going. The run now has been so spectacular, So I don't think they don't have that time to say, okay, they want to play like the Spanish team that did tiki-taka and the rest. They've been effective since that defeat against Saudi Arabia, and that's just it for them. I mean, nobody saw that. I never expected them to have it so easy against Croatia, especially when you watch the Croatia and the Brazil game. You expect Croatia to, give them a good fight, but when you get to this stage, the most important thing is when you get there, your chance, you just have to take it. Croatia at the early stage of the game, they were bossing the game. They were knocking ball around. Argentina were at the back foot, but when the opportunity came, they just took it. And it was from then, the Croatia, they just fell apart. They just didn't know how to regroup, and so their goalkeeper always been spectacular when it comes to penalty saves. He couldn't stop Messi's rockets. I mean, the way Messi plays the ball, he just go to show that Messi has really studied him and know how to beat him. So for me, the Argentines, they don't have anything to impress anybody. They are there for business. I mean, they don't want what happened against Saudi Arabia to repeat itself. That's the hallmark of a very good side. Remember the Spanish team that won the World Cup in 2010? Nobody saw them. Nobody expected them to lose against Switzerland. And immediately, once that defeat came, they just went straight to the final and they won it. I think Argentina, they are throwing that line now. The Argentine team that got to the final in 1990. Remember also, they lost to Cameroon. Nobody saw that coming. So that's how a team, the very good side. They can experience a setback in the early stage. But once they get going like this, they get going. Argentina has grown into the competition and they're on a run. And for me, I think they are the number one favorite right now, not even France. And I remember in 1982 when Italy won the World Cup in Spain. They drew all their group. We know this. They drew all their group games. They drew against Cameroon. They drew against, I think, was it Austria? They left that group with 3 points. But when it got to the next group stage, where the group then they defeated Argentina and Brazil, and they went all the way to win the World Cup. So a good team, no matter how bad they start, if they can just get themselves together, I mean, they are going to be unstoppable. That's the hallmark of a very good side, and that's what Argentina has shown to us. So now, for me, they are the number one favorite to win this World Cup because the way they are on a run. They are on a run. Messi is not even the only dangerous player there. They have Julian Alvarez. They have Alexis McAllister. They have DePaul. They have a lot of guys, young guys now who are playing for the team. They know that Messi is just like a guardian to them. He's just leading them. So they are the one doing all the running, and Messi is just adding the sauce and every other thing to make sure the team go far. You saw the way they got the third goal yesterday. He took the Croatian 20-year-old defender. He showed him that he still has the experience, still has the knowledge about it. That guy has been one of the best defenders in this World Cup. But against Messi, for that third goal, I mean, Messi took him out. Messi just took him out and laid the pass, and that was how Julian Alvarez got the third goal. So for me, Argentina have done well, and if they win the World Cup, I mean, nobody should come out and say they didn't deserve it because they've shown that they're a team that they can overcome adversity, and they are gunning for the World Cup.
Okay, Coyote, let's talk about the game now. The penalty, the first goal Argentina scored. It seems to be a little bit controversial because the Croatian players they protested to the referee. But I do not know if decisions are controversial. Well, I remember you and I posted something on Facebook and you said, I shouldn't blame Messi, I should blame the referee. Should that really be a penalty in the first place? And why didn't the referee consult the VAR if he is not certainly sure that it was a penalty? And you saw the opposing players protesting. At least I think the referee should have checked the VAR to be certain. Cody.
I think you get the function of the VAR wrong. What the VAR does is it is an assistant referee. It comes into play when the referee has doubts. But once he is sure of himself that this decision is right, he doesn't have to consult the VAR.
Even if he's wrong, even if he is wrong,
who now proves that he's wrong? In his mind, in his mind, he's convinced that this was the right decision. And like I always said, this is available for anybody who is interested. Go and check the FIFA laws of the game. Law 5 or officiating says the most important phrase in that Law 5 is that in the opinion of the referee. That's what you see with each paragraph, that in the opinion of the referee, if the referee thinks this is right, it is right. Nobody, not even the FIFA president, can overturn the decision of the referee once the referee is convinced. Where he has doubts or he has taken a decision and VAR thinks, okay, maybe you need to take a second look, he will send him a message and he will go and check. But then, because he's convinced, and if the VAR did not bother to send him anything, because probably they also felt the referee was right. So there was a synergy between the VAR and the referee. That was why you didn't see him going to the pitch side to go and check anything. For me, he made the call that he thought was right. And once the referee decides on a course of action, for me, I do not want to, because we can't even change it anyway. We cannot change it. So let me now refer to what you were saying on social media. When you were blaming Messi for scoring the penalty, I said, no, Messi did not just carry the ball to go and play a penalty. He was offered the penalty by the referee. The referee blew for a penalty and he went there to take it and he scored. So it's not about Messi, it's about what the referee has done. And it was the referee who decided that was a penalty.
But do you think it should have been a penalty?
Well, the referee didn't think so. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't matter what I think.
I thought Alvarez has
the statement of a politician. That's
yeah, exactly. You said what?
Can you imagine? Because Alvarez had played the ball before the goalkeeper collided with him.
Well, you see one thing, tell me, I wasn't going to get into this controversy because it will just you would stick to your position. I will stick to mine. If he had kicked the ball before the goalkeeper clashed into him, the referee would presuppose that if the goalkeeper had not crashed into him, he was in a position to keep going. You understand? But that you impeded him. When you impede somebody, that's a foul. When that foul is in the 18-yard box, it is a penalty. Let's take away emotions from this, Femi. When you impede a player, whether he's going off or he's going on goal or off goal, once you impede him, it is a foul. Most times when you do that outside the area, you might get away with it. If the referee decides to call it in the box, it is a penalty. And that's what happened.
Okay. James, let's talk about Messi's influence in this team. We saw it in that the third goal. He took a backdoor on a run. It was on a run, twisted turn, and he guided the ball well before he found Alvarez in the penalty, and Alvarez took the ball home. A lot of people thought that Messi couldn't do this, but at the biggest stage of all, of course, he surpassed Gabriel Batistuta for the number of goals he scored for the RB Celeste yesterday in that game. And a lot of people thought Messi no longer has that flair, that skill, that ability, that intelligence to do what he did yesterday. But again, on the biggest stage, he did it yesterday, James.
Yeah, that was good to show the kind of player he is. One of the greatest players to ever, play this game. It might not be the same Messi of yesteryears, but that you not want to take your eyes off him, and that was what the Croatian defender. That's what he learned. Yes, I think that will help him, as a young 20-year-old.
Defender, Manchester City, Manchester United, Real Madrid, everybody wants to buy Man City. Everybody wants to buy.
He must have learned a valuable lesson. Yeah, that Because if you check out the age difference, I think Messi should be more than 15 years older than him. So he showed his experience against him. So Messi has really done well for this team. I think what's really helping this Argentine team is they are not leaving all the work for Messi to do. I mean, the rest of the guys, they've stepped up. I think it started with Lautaro Martinez, but Martinez didn't really click with him. So Alvarez has already taken over. So that's why you always see Alvarez and Messi pairing. So Messi is just like a guidance to this team. So they are working their socks off. That's why I see when they score, there's always this, you see the way they rush to Messi, the hugs and everything. It goes to show that he's really the biggest player and he's carrying everybody along. Even when they are not playing well, you see that support, you see that encouragement, that motivation from him for the team to move, and it's really rubbing off on them. So that's the most important thing. When you have such a player who has seen it all, so what better way to now end this international career than winning the World Cup? So he has equaled Mbappe now 5 goals, 3 from the penalty spot.
But the World Cup,
yeah. So and just like what you said, it's Argentina's all-time goals top scorer in the World Cup levels, eclipsing Batistuta's record. So Messi has been immense for Argentina, has done well for them. He has taken them to this far. So I mean that yesterday really proved what Messi really is. He's always leading by example. Against Holland, despite the fact that they threw away the 2-goal lead, he said that even when the penalty kick started, he was the one that first stepped forward to ease the tension from the other guys, and he scored, and they took it up from there, So, I mean, they really know the importance of Messi. That's why everybody, they are doubling their effort. It's not, if you check the Argentine team, most times it's as if they are playing from the back foot, but once they go forward, they are explosive. The rest of the guys, they understand how Messi operates, and they are not ready to relax. Everybody wants to prove that, yes, we can do it. So Messi has really helped this team. He has guided them, and what better way to reward him, by helping to, playing their own part in making sure that they win the World Cup. Because the last time they won it was 1986. That has been a very long time, and they've played in how many finals now since then? 1990, 2014. So I mean, this is a big opportunity for them, especially for Messi to go out, on the high. And I know. I don't know that final. You become anybody's guess, especially if they come up against France. They lost to France in the round of 16 last time, and remember they also lost to Croatia 3-0 in 2018, and they've
the same group with Nigeria. Yeah,
exactly. So let's just wait and see who they meet in the final, and hopefully, because a lot of people are saying they want Argentina to win just because of Messi, and who can blame them for that? Just to settle this GOAT issue himself and Ronaldo.
I have 2 questions left. That day I said he doesn't want to get into the GOAT debate, so I'm going to throw the GOAT debate at you, as in that will be the last question before we close the show today. Kayode, let's talk about Croatia. What happened, Kayode? Why did they just capitulate like that? A lot of people were expecting that if a team could be as good, could be good enough to eliminate Brazil, this talented Brazil that a lot of people have said they are the favorite to win this tournament, and you just came against Argentina and you just vanished into thin air. What happened to Croatia, Kayode, yesterday?
I mean, they were found out. They were a disaster waiting to happen. I said this separately. They were a disaster waiting to happen. But because they overcame Brazil, everybody closed their eyes to the deficiencies in that team. Fine, they have a very, very good midfield. They're very, very tight, very, very closely knit. But going forward, they were blunt, Femi. Against Brazil, they did not have any goal on target until they scored that goal. And do you know why that goal came? Because Brazil scored and mentally they relaxed. They thought, having scored this late in the game, there's no coming back for these guys. And they passed, and with the first attack that they went forward, they were able to equalize. And once it became penalties, it became anybody's game. The game before that, I think that was against Japan, right? They had, I think, they won on penalties, right? That against Japan too, I'm not sure they played 0-0 and now won on penalties. 1-1.
They played 1-1.
They had one shot on target too. Or against them. It was only against Canada that they had, I think, 5 goals on target, 5 shots on target, and they scored 4.
Yeah.
Tell me, you cannot continue at this level, not having shots on target, having 1 shot on target in 90 minutes. One day you'll be found out. One day a team will score you early enough, and once the fight goes out of you, the team can keep scoring. If that game had continued, Argentina would keep scoring. They would not score. It was going to be Argentina that will keep scoring. So we'll see. As much as people were losing their heads about Croatia, I told myself I wasn't going to get involved because I knew this team was being set up. If they had even escaped Argentina, they would not have escaped either Morocco or France in the final. You saw that when they played against France in Morocco in their group game, you saw that they barely escaped Morocco. But these are the little things that people don't take into consideration. I knew this was going to happen, even though the scoreline was a little bit flattering. But what do you expect from a team that does not have any inventiveness going forward? This was always going to happen. So it didn't come to me as a surprise. As a matter of fact, I expected it. I expected them to have been buried by Brazil. But Brazil treated them with kids' glove because they were mentally thinking that they were going to play Argentina in the semifinal. They forgot to think about the game that was in front of them. You know, I wrote something about that after I did the game. I said, these guys are eating the mistakes that Nigeria made in France 98 when we were thinking about playing Brazil in the quarterfinals. Don't forget that we had Denmark in the round of 16, and we were shocked. The same thing happened to Brazil. Now, Croatia have gotten their own judgment now. So let's see. And I'm happy for Argentina and for Lionel Messi. He is a great player, one of the greatest to have played the game. One of the greatest, maybe. I said one of the greatest, not the greatest, and one of the greatest to have played the game. So it would have been an injustice for him to go out without winning the World Cup. So for me, I'm happy. I'll be happy for him. But then if he has to go against Morocco, then maybe I will be happy for him again.
Okay, Kyle, do you think Luka Modric had too much to do yesterday? Because it seems he was really, really overwhelmed in the midfield.
To be fair, he didn't have it. Not that he had too much to do. It was just his normal day in the office. He did what he had always been doing. The only problem they had was that they played against an extra motivated Messi. Like I said, Messi is playing some of the best games of his international career at the moment, Femi. But you see, he's not even bothered about scoring. What he wants to do is create the opportunities for those who score. Just make sure that if you check the game, he was all over the pitch, in the middle, the hole behind the main striker. It was just there. Messi had not played in that position in a long, long time. But he conveniently drops there now to play because he wants to be the heart of the team. He doesn't want he doesn't want to leave room for any mistakes. So he will be, rather than stay up front and be expecting them to bring balls for him to score, he would rather come back, drop into that hole, and be the one to orchestrate all of their moves. And all of their moves came from him. So for me, that's why I think Messi is unplayable at the moment. That's the truth. Whether we like it or not, he's very, very unplayable. And I pity the team that will come up against him, whether it's Morocco or France. Yeah, I pity them.
Okay. James, like I said, I have to throw the goal debate at you because honestly, we can't talk about Messi without talking about Ronaldo and the goal debate. For Ronaldo, I think he's played his last World Cup. For Messi, we can't say Messi will be, I think, around 37 by 2026 when US, Canada, and of course,
it cannot be 37 again in 2026. That will be 4 years in 4 years' time. How old is he now?
Messi I think he's 33 now. 34?
35 now.
No, I think there's even an announcement from Messi after yesterday's game that the final will be his last.
I expect that final to be his testimonial game. I don't expect to see him playing again after this World Cup. And that's why I am praying that he goes out on a high.
Yeah.
That he gets to win the World Cup now because he's been in the final. He lost the final. I don't want him to lose this final again. After winning the Copa America last year, I want him to sign out on a high with this one, Femi. He deserves it.
Okay, I don't know why I'm reducing Messi's age in my head, but James, seemingly Ronaldo and Messi seems to have played their final, maybe World Cup. I don't know, maybe they can still play Continental Championship for their country, but for the World Cup, I think this will be the last time. Now, yesterday after the game, on social media, a lot of people are saying that Messi have played at least in the final. This will be his second final in the World Cup, and Ronaldo hasn't played in the final. Some people said, for them, the GOAT debate is sealed already. They said he won even more Ballon d'Or more than Ronaldo. So they are saying for them, the GOAT debate is sealed, that no more debate about that. Do you think if Messi finally wins this World Cup, it will be the GOAT? I think at least between these two, it will be the goals, the main goals.
Yeah,
not
I think,
not you don't assume the main goals.
yeah, no, you just win the World Cup to just see like, the goal debate. You know, this is some final. Or it's Ronaldo final. Yes, the goal was fine. Messi has now in his confidence to make that win it. And I know the fans the Ronaldo and Brad, whoever going to against Argentina, be something that game because that once Messi to give World Cup, the good debate has finally ended. So that's just the now. So like for me, I'm just looking forward to an exciting final. However,
that's like how they say he doesn't want to get involved. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to receive anything.
Let me tell you why I don't want to get involved. I am just happy. I'm happy that I am alive to see two of the greatest players ever play at the same time. We have never had this before. Is that either you have one player with head and shoulders above the rest? That's what we have.
Yeah.
Maradona. He had other very talented players around him. He was the star of the show every time. The same with Pele. Now we've had him for the last 10 years or thereabout. For me, that's I'm happy to be able to tell my children 20 years down the line that, you know what, I saw Ronaldo and Messi play at the same time. That for me is enough. All these who is the greatest between them, I don't want to get involved. Because I can sit here and paper on why each of them deserve to be the GOAT. So that's I'm not going to get into that. I'm just happy to be alive at this time to see both of them play. That's
all right. Okay. So today we wish Morocco the best as they take on France. It's going to be another cracking cracker game. I remember that game will be taking place at the Albaid Stadium. So Moroccan fans, they've been trooping in droves into Qatar to support.
Can you see what I'm doing, Femi? I'm telling you
Sorry,
that I said, can you see what I'm doing? I'm touching my head. I'm touching my head and my heart. My heart wants Morocco to win, but my head is saying something else.
Okay, so honest, I think you are saying the mind of a lot of people because yesterday, some people said Morocco have tried and they just want to see a final.
Yeah, they
want to see a France between Argentina. So that's what a lot of people are saying. But of course, that will be done on the field of play today. And we as Africans have to wish Morocco all the best. Thanks, guys, for coming on the show today. James Kayode, thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much, Femi. We wish Morocco all the best.
Yeah. I think they've set the bar high already for other African teams. Semi-final of the FIFA World Cup. It's going to take a whole lot for any other African team to equal that feat. So until tomorrow, when we come around to look at the game between Morocco and France, we'll see you again. Bye for now.